Hey everybody, if you notice a big gap in the episode this week, that's where we talked about Benoit. As always, I'm Pat McDermott. Then, we have Dan Peck.
He got the gout.
And last, and certainly not least, we have Chris O'Mealy.
Hey, there's somebody outside the studio door holding up that picture that I shared before. Oh crap, it's Vince.
You ever play, Mortal Kombat? Yes.
Vince?
Yeah. That came out in the 90s. Yeah, I believe I played every single Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, we're all familiar with that, Vince.
Oh, well, I only played the first one. I don't think there were any black characters in it. But, I heard in the second one, there's a character called Jax, and he's black. So you're not going with the obvious fact that the guy in the picture looks like Noob Sabat, and they're going with a character unlock. You're just going with Jax.
Yeah, thanks, Vince.
You know,
Thanks for your input.
Well, yeah, real quick, I would have called him... You know what I would have called Jax?
Don't say blacks.
Blacks!
God.
And with that, we have
Jax.
an episode title.
Black Specific used to make all of our Nation of Domination figures.
God.
Black Specific, not Jack Specific. Oh my god. I never looked on the back of one of those old packages. I never looked to read if it was Blacks Specific that made the African American
Ahmed
wrestling
Johnson.
figures. Yeah. If
Got
someone
your
could
Ahmed
confirm
Johnson
that,
figure.
I mean, Vince confirmed it, but I really don't trust him.
Yeah, if somebody not named Vince could confirm that,
I mean, a
That would be-
secondary source.
that would be great, okay?
So please, yeah, in the feedback thread, let us know if it still said Jack Specific on the back. I even checked the Rock figure, because it'd be half Black Specific.
Yeah, so this week's wrestling shows were a bitch because Payback is this Sunday.
What are you talking about? All the old pay-per-views in the WWE Network and Legends House? That's not what we're going to talk about in this show?
No, you gotta talk about the modern stuff.
I don't know. So, the Authority came down in the ring, and they called out Brad Maddox. At which point I was sad, because I knew where this was going.
Yeah, I think we all knew where this was going.
Because Brad Maddox has done nothing on TV in the last while, and Triple H fired him for doing nothing in the past while. And then he got tombstoned, and... Well, actually, I think he got tombstone chokeslam first, then he got fired.
Yeah, he got fired after the whole deal went down. But you know what? The GM role is dead, and it has been since the brand extension
yeah.
ended. Especially because as soon as the Authority became a thing, it was all about Triple H making the decision, so having a GM was just useless.
Well, what was it? You had the Authority, you had Vicky, you had Maddox, then you had Kane, who was Director of Operations at the same time of all of this. And now, by the way, not Director of Operations once you put the mask back on.
Of course not. The good thing, though, is that Brad Maddox is a Triple H guy, so you know that he's not going anywhere.
So he's going to be ass punching people soon?
Of course.
Move him back to NXT. Put him in a top tier feud on there. That'd be pretty awesome.
Have him ass punch Adrian Neville.
Adrian Nipple, right in the nipple. So yeah, he gets fired, and then we get RVD versus Cesaro, and Cesaro, I love you. He gets the win.
Wow. That was a great reference. That took me a second. I'm like, oh, I know that reference.
Yeah, I've been making that reference since he came in as Cesaro, and I just feared no one would get it. So thanks.
No. Thank you, Quincy.
So, it looks like we got a women's match here that I can't talk about because Hulu didn't have it, and I'm sexist.
Yep.
Or your
sure
pick.
Did. It was Summer Rae and Eva Marie. And then Fandango and Layla come out and they dance, so Eva rolls up Summer for the win. There's your match.
Oh, wow, something tells me I actually did see this and just forgot it existed. So, then we get a segment backstage with Randall and Tista, and then the Brotherhood's like, hey, you guys are a bunch of dickheads, so we should face you, and that's going to happen later in the show. Then, we get a feud I didn't even know existed. Would you like to talk about that?
So, El Torito is going over every member of 3MB, which is not necessary, but it's setting up for a huge rematch from Extreme Rules.
Sensical.
Yeah, a huge rematch from Extreme Rules, where Torito is going to take on Hornswoggle in a hair versus mask match, which JBL cannot comprehend because he doesn't understand what's going to happen to the bull. Of course, because he's a real bull and all, he gets his tail chopped off, which certainly won't offend any animal rights activists out there, or midget right activists, if those exist. And, of course, he runs around.
That midget got its tail cut off.
J-O-E to the C, ho.
And he runs around like a chicken with its head cut off, except he's a bull with his tail cut off. And, yeah, this is happening, guys.
That is, bullshit. Alright.
To which point, we get Bray Wyatt coming out, talking about how a snake bite can only be cured with some anti-venom. And then he looks at the announce table. John Cena gives approximately 0 shits about John Bradshaw Layfield because he gets his ass kicked, he gets his wig split on the outside, beat him up, don't break his neck, TVPG. So then they take the King, they bring King into the ring, and
That's
out
awesome,
comes
because
John
Mark
Cena.
Henry has 0 to do with any of this.
Well, do you listen to Talk is Jericho?
Yes, I love
Have
Talk
you
is
heard
Jericho.
him use the cowbell and sing Mark Henry's theme?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's always stuck in my head now. It's one of my favorite things on the show, and I always go, break his neck! Neck!
Well, why would Cena care about JBL? They had a huge feud, so he's probably like, ha-ha!
They're different people now. Ha ha! You know,
They had
I
a huge feud 9 years ago.
I remember that feud. I won't get involved in any altercations that involve you, but if they involve Jerry the King, who's my best friend, I'm going to watch him get beat up in front of me, they're going to hold my eyeballs open, and that's what's going to happen.
So that's what happened.
So that is exactly what happened. He was forced to watch, he had his eyeballs held open, and he paid his ticket. Well, even if he didn't pay his ticket.
Orange style.
Dude, the whole time the segment was going on, I'm like, oh god, please don't let Jerry take a bump. Please don't let Jerry take a bump. I don't think I can go through that twice, where he's going to die on live TV again.
So, do you, or if Racist Vince is still around, want to talk about Rusev facing a white man?
Well, Vince is still trying to hook up that old Sega Genesis down there, so...
Oh, he's going to play Mortal Kombat 2 and look for the black characters.
It might be taking him a while. That's a lot of technology he's not familiar with.
Does he have the 6-button controller or the 3-button controller?
6-button turbo.
So, Zack Ryder comes out to the ring waving the American flag and picks up a microphone. If you actually thought that this was going to lead to something for him, I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Well, he says for America he doesn't get hype, he stays hyped, right? That's what he does here?
Actually, he
Does
got
he go,
more screen time. But of course, Rusev Fudria, Rusev Munchka.
Rusev Putinka.
Was this an actual match or just a segment, like the takeover thing? I don't even remember.
According to my results, it says winner Rusev. So it was a match.
Alright. Well.
So then you get Batista and Randall versus the Brotherhood. See, the thing with Batista and Randall for me is, in the ring, as a tag team, probably the best thing you could do with them, they deliver. But before they get into the ring and everything about them, is it just me or is this Evolution return just really bland? Like, it doesn't feel like the same group. I mean, it's not. It's years later, but it just doesn't feel like anything special like they want it to be.
No, the thing is, Orton has finally gotten to that point in his career when he doesn't need anybody to get over, and yet I thought Batista was there too, but from what I understand, he needs groups to get him over.
Even though he walks alone.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, he doesn't.
Not anymore. Maybe that's why he's not coming out to that theme anymore.
Because he can't walk alone, yeah.
He needs his guardians with him.
As Guardians of the Universe.
I mean, well, the original incantation of Evolution was to promote the future, and it was also to make...
And also, wait, and also to promote Triple H.
Yes.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
True. But Batista and Orton were made to look like serious threats. Right now, they don't look like that. They just kind of look like they're
Goons?
trying to hang around. Yeah, that's it. They're the goons.
Is it just me? I don't even know if I've said this on the show before, but
they're the new age freaking
They're the
Briscoe
Goombas.
and Patterson.
no, I feel like they're Cody and DiBiase in Legacy. That's what I feel.
You know,
Oh, so you mean that they're worse for the teaming?
Yeah.
Dan, here's the thing. Not much will ever make me rage quit wrestling, but if Batista and Orton compete in a hardcore evening gown match, I'm done. I'm done. Especially with all that baby oil that's going to be involved.
Well, unless that happens tomorrow night, you won't have to worry about it for a few months because Batista's probably going to be gone after he takes the pinfall at Payback.
Batista.
You wanted to say Extreme Rules because there's more Extreme Rules.
Don't get
matches
Jason
at-
Shin excited by saying Batista. So, we get
Batista bombed this shit.
We get Goldust and Cody taking on Randall and Teaster, and there's an awesome spot for the disaster kick countered with the RKO that actually looks like he's going to try to hit the disaster kick. He doesn't just go, "Hey, here's my face."
Yeah.
I'm leaving
but
my
afterwards,
kick with my face.
Christian going for that counter with his face.
Cody is underutilized, and Goldust is the comeback star that should have gotten the Batista push.
Well, Goldust gets his big single spotlight after this, because after Cody is pinned, they decide, nope, LOL, it's an elimination match, and Goldust gets the crap kicked out of him.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he gets Batista's spear, and then after the match, David powerbombs him, and that's what happens there.
Elimination is a mystery.
Then we get the rematch everybody has been waiting for, in Bo Dallas versus Sin Cara. His first match on Raw, second match on WWE TV since this gimmick.
That they're acknowledging.
Exactly. They don't even consider the other run. So it's the match you thought it would be, and a Bo Dog and a win. Actually, it's pretty much a repeat of the SmackDown match because they know no one saw it.
That's exactly what it was.
Then we get Stephanie McMahon, and she comes out and says, "Time for Daniel Bryan to surrender his title." And Bryan
They're
says she
gonna
has a
do
point.
the right thing.
Yeah, you have to do the right thing, Daniel. And so Bryan says that his neck is worse than he thought, and he's going to have to take more time off than he thought.
Dun
And-
dun dun.
Stephanie says that he should give up the title, and he says, well, if I do, that'll just be giving into everything that I've been fighting for all this time. So, no. And then she's like, well, how about your wife pushed me, now I'm going to fire her if you don't give up the title. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, confirmed. CM Punk's coming back.
Briem Punk.
Oh wait, no, that was Kelly Kelly that one time cosplayed as CM Punk.
Kelly.
When they did that, it must have been like a Halloween Divas Battle Royal thing or whatever. And you know, one diva was a devil and the other diva was a whatever, and then Kelly Kelly comes out as CM Punk.
Now, of course, because the world title match is only going to be a segment, and it's taking place in Chicago, the internet rumor mill says, someone's coming back! And
David Otunga.
it's going to be David
Oh,
Otunga.
killer tofu.
If David Otunga comes out to a beat song, he will become my favorite wrestler for that moment.
For that moment. He comes up to a different beat song every time.
But then the match has
You
to
gotta stop.
eventually start.
You gotta shout your lungs out. You gotta
Money,
roll your
no
window down.
allowance.
Yodelay-hoo.
You gotta have like developmental talent come out to I Need More Allowance.
I need no allowance.
So I didn't get Alicia Fox versus Emma.
Why do you always luck out? That's not even fair.
Why do you think I watch an hour and a half version of Raw?
Well, Emma actually won. Which is
Yay!
surprising because Alicia's supposed to be the big #1 contender chick. But whatever.
I kind of like that
Then
gimmick,
she's
though.
just the black #1 contender shit.
And then
Black AJ.
You didn't get the Adam Rose debut.
Nope, I didn't get Sandow versus Adam Rose.
Uh-oh.
After
Hulu
all...
Plus is a lemon.
Hulu Plus is a lemon because Davy Crockett comes out to the ring. And apparently that's Sandow's new thing is he's coming out as like a different gimmick all the time. Because on Main Event this week he was D-Sizzle and he was dressed like a rapper.
Well, let me also
Man,
say...
Stevie's getting ripped off.
I've gotten every Adam Rose segment up until his actual debut match.
Well,
And it was a good match too. Sandow's got some legitimate comedic background to him, so he's another guy that's getting filed underutilized. But they're starting to do a lot more with him, so that's going to change pretty soon.
You know what I did get, though?
Fella versus peasant.
Yeah, fella versus pedo.
The two guys who desperately need character redevelopment.
Yeah, it's like they're stuck in they're stuck in this phantom zone. Even though Sheamus is the United States champion.
They're in career purgatory.
And it's it's the World Heavyweight Championship disappeared and there's nothing to do with these guys. They're all even RVD came back, and what's he going for at the pay-per-view? The Intercontinental title. Anyone who went for the World Heavyweight Championship is now Intercontinental title material, which is fine.
Yep.
It should be that way. There shouldn't be two world champions. But I just find it funny that nobody who was primarily a World Heavyweight Champion as opposed to a WWE Champion is at the top.
Oh, Brian was. And he had his 3 months as World Heavyweight Champion. Although, according to his interview on Talk is Jericho, that was because everybody got hurt, and they're like, well, we have John Cena, and, just like, well, guess he gets the opportunity.
And then Daniel Bryan laugh. That was pretty good.
Sheamus wins. Next.
Shield comes out for a contract signing, and they throw everything around, want to get right to business. So Triple H comes out, and best for business is everybody going to beat each other in the club, everybody getting tipsy.
Yeah. And then Sludgy makes an appearance, and everyone dies.
Yeah, Sledge Hombre comes back, and Roman Reigns
Sledge
super punches
Hombre.
someone. And, powerbomb on Reigns through the table, which he bitches about on SmackDown, and that's it.
Yeah, it was a contract signing. If you've ever seen a contract signing before, it's pretty much exactly what you expect.
It's like, we can't have these guys not interact at all. That's
Right.
I think that's what's so boring about it, is you have these 3-hour shows, you have 2 big shows a week, and they're constantly facing each other. It's like we're playing GM mode here. Oh, it's great.
This would be a good time to actually bulk up the roster a little bit and have a lot more undercard matches.
Right. I mean, what they did on Raw was nice, where they had Batista and Randy face Cody and Goldust. But it's, what I mean? Like, have them face different people and not be stuck in the same holding pattern. Have the Shield compete in some singles action that doesn't involve Batista and Randy, and I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of stale right now.
No, I gotcha. The thing is, as a whole, Raw was not a bad show this week, but unfortunately on Thursday another show aired that blew Raw out of the water. In fact, it blew every Raw this year out of the water.
I hear the roar of the crowd.
I wrote a whole blog about how good this show was.
You want to talk about the pre-show real quick?
Yeah, let's talk about the pre-show and the post-show after, if we can.
I didn't actually watch the post-show, so I'd like to hear about it.
Post-show was great. Post-show did more storyline development than the show did.
The pre-show,
so
the pre-show
good.
for the most part was a lot of hype videos, and then
Really
they had
good
a
hype
great
videos.
they had a great panel.
You know what?
I know
Higher.
Heyman did an awesome job putting over everybody.
Paul Heyman. Well, to me, this is what I think. At least it feels more like ECW to him. It's a smaller product to deal with, and I think he likes that.
All he does, though, is put the spotlight on himself. He never puts people over.
Like,
Except
you mean
for
like
every
his-
single person
You
he's
mean like his
ever
client
managed.
Brock Lesnar, who who ended the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania?
Or his
Worst
client,
decision in wrestling
Cesaro,
history.
who won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
Oh, you mean the King of Swing? The guy like he's a catchphrase machine.
King
put
of
over talent.
Swing! The King of Swing to Jerry!
I love people are bitching about that. They're like, Cesaro doesn't need a manager. Yeah, well, Punk didn't need a manager either, and he did pretty damn well with Heyman at his side.
You know who needs a manager? Your mother. Anyway, it's time for the show proper of NXT Take Over. Actually, in the last 3 minutes of the pre-show, the Exotic Express pulls up right next to them, and they all come running out, and they're partying, and they do some laps, and then they go into the building, and then the show starts with them coming into the building.
You know what this pre-show was, though, too, real quick before you move to the show proper? It was, hey, Tyson Kidd is a person. Here is some stuff about him. Natty is a bitch, and he lives with her. This was like Tyson Kidd 101. This is how you develop a character that you've had signed for, 6 years?
Yeah, he's been around for a lot longer than I
I
realized.
think 08. Yeah.
And then they come back after the Michael Cole interview, and he's like, what is this, divorce court with Michael Cole?
Coming soon to the WWE Network. Marriage counseling with Michael Cole. And
Followed
shortly
by-
after, divorce court with Michael Cole. Yeah, they're developing their storyline from Total Divas, which I'm thinking, hasn't every storyline where a married couple is having problems ended with them actually having problems and divorcing? Yes!
Tyson's gonna be like, I want a divorce.
I want a divorce! That is the greatest Linda McMahon ever.
I'm not gonna argue that fact.
Except for she had a little bit more tremble, but whatever. So, the Exotic Express, and everyone's there, and they come out, and there's Adam Rose, and it's time for him to have his match with Camacho. So, it's Adam Rose versus Camacho, and Rose pulls some old school Bugs Bunny tactics by acting gay.
Doesn't he offer him the lollipop, too? Or no, that's...
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
He jumps into his arms and he's like, I'm going to kiss you so you can be uncomfortable because I'm
What's
not
up, Doc?
gay. So Camacho yells, "Party pooper this!" as he hits a freaking
They got a
butterfly
huge-
suplex.
A huge party pooper chant going.
And then
Choo-choo!
Adam Rose hits the Bronco Buster, but only does one thrust instead of multiple thrusts. He follows this up with the Party Foul, which is like the Daisy Cutter, and Adam Rose wins.
Good match, though. Good starter.
Dude, I was really impressed by that suplex from Camacho. That was the only thing I was impressed by from Camacho. So
Well,
I figured I'd give it
everything
to him. It was really nice.
Camacho doesn't work that badly, though.
Nice suplex, guy.
Well supplayed, clerks.
And next up is the Ascension defends the tag team titles against El Local and Kalisto. The Ascension jumps the gun and their opponents as the bell rings. This is by far the best and most competitive Ascension match.
Dude, this match, I like the Ascension for their music and their gimmick is enough already, but yeah, this match made them look tremendous.
It really did. They looked fantastic.
El Local and Kalisto actually get some offense and make you think for a moment that the Ascension is not immortal. But in the end, the Fall of Man retains the title for the Ascension.
And all the girlies say El Local can kind of fly for a fat guy.
Dude,
Dude, he can actually work.
He looks
Kalisto
like
is
he does.
Samurai del Sol, right?
Yep, Samurai of the Sun.
That's right. I think because, how competitive this match was, they're going to be the rematch guys.
I would have no problem with that.
Quarterly, right? You think that's good?
You guys fine with that? Because you guys run this ish.
Our next... Actually, during this show, to this point, we're about 20 minutes in. There's been more videos for Sami Zayn and Tyler Breeze than for the title matches.
These videos have been great, though.
Yes. And now it is time for Sami Zayn to take on Tyler Breeze at #1 contendership match. And they both have new theme music, and neither are really that good.
Oh, I like them both. I really like the Tyler Breeze singing his own music gimmick.
I'm glad Sami Zayn has a new theme. I didn't care for his old one.
So the match starts out slow. And I take this as a hint that they're going to be given lots of time. And guess what? They are given lots of time. It was such perfectly put together and paced for this match. Really, I just gotta say, people, you gotta watch this match. This match,
yeah.
I have officially written this match down on my list of matches up for Match of the Year.
Not only was this a fantastic match, and not only did was this the coming out party for Tyler Breeze, I think, as far as his work rate. Yeah, that too, because he was singing his own music, and you could hear his slurry voice. But
Shin's really paying attention now.
But I think this was really a night where people learned what Tyler Breeze can do, because we already knew what Sami Zayn could do if you've seen him take on Cesaro. But this match, this is what Cesaro did for Sami. Now Sami's paid it forward with Tyler Breeze in this match, but both guys came out looking like $1 million. And that is how you book a match to make both people look good and create new stars.
Right. And I gotta say, as much as I love Sami Zayn, I do believe the right person won this match. I believe that Dan said that in the initial thread we had going for this show.
And the finish is Tyler Breeze accidentally hits Sami Zayn in the balls. He then tells the ref that you should probably put up the X, and then he hits the booty shot and wins the match.
So he wins with a heel tactic that does not at all take away from the match itself. That's brilliant.
At this point, we are about halfway through the show, so I think it's time to take a piss.
Well, after that match, you were holding it in halfway through to the end, so...
Time to take a piss because Rusev Krishna.
And that's not enough.
Lana and Rusev come out. Lana comes out and she's like, "Hey, everybody, Vladimir Putin and Rusev,
comrades,
to crush you." And here comes Rusev, who is so Russian now he carries a Russian flag. And he waves the flag around, and he comes out, and he's like, "Yes, Vladimir Putin."
We need you to run down to the ring. Why? Because you're Russian. Just like Mojo Rawley. You're Russian.
At this point, we've had enough of your Russian patriotism. It's time for some American patriotism. Getting hype and staying hype. Mojo Rawley comes out with the American flag, and he's like, "Ho!
Do you know what?
We don't get hype, we stay hype." And oh wait, by getting hype, I mean getting knocked down and put in the accolade within 5 seconds. Oh no, was this a match? I don't know, but I lost either way.
I just realized what get hype and stay hype means. It means being in the apex of a John Cena football-style promo constantly. Constantly. Because he was like, "We're here in America, and that's what we do. We stay happy." Yeah, it was just John Cena, but it was the apex of a football speech.
Hey, I resent that.
I really gotta take a dump. But just always.
So, little known history fact, guys. America won the Cold War by staying hype.
Of course. It didn't end because they elected a guy that was like, "Hey, this probably isn't a good idea." Anyway.
So Mojo was... he said he was going to stick it up as Putin, which was terrible. Like, doesn't even make sense. But anyway, Mojo ends up putting him over, so... See? Better.
I prefer
And
Mojo
not only-
Jojo.
Mojo tries to run away,
Yes.
and Rusev's like, "No, run away.
And,
More accolade."
For a second, I'm like, am I a fan of Rusev now?
For that one moment, I was, because he
Thank
beat up
you,
Mojo
Rose.
Rawley.
We were all like, Rusev, crush!
Like, context sensitive. is your fanny.
Hope you enjoyed your face turn.
And now it's time for one of the big matches of the night, as the vacant women's championship is going to be decided. Charlotte, who has her father, you know, Ric Flair,
With her new house version of his theme.
which I actually like,
It's pretty cool.
I actually like that too.
versus Natalia, who already had a house version of Bret Hart's theme to begin with. She has her father with her. No! Her uncle Bret with her.
I
So
like
I-
how they don't like to acknowledge that at all. They're just like, I'm a heart. No, you're a Neidhart, technically. No, I'm a heart.
I've heard rumors that her father is either currently incarcerated or hospitalized, so that probably explains why he wasn't there.
No,
but-
you know what explains that he's not there is they don't want his fat ass on TV.
Who explains why he's not there is because Bret Hart
Because
is a member
Bret's-
of her family, too.
Because Bret Hart is related to her, that's it. That's all you need to know.
So, but before the match, we see Ric
I can't
Flair.
reach the bulldog no matter how many times I call him, so...
Ric Flair pats his daughter on the back and says, "Let's do it!"
To which you say...
Shades of the
"She-"
Hulkster.
To which I say, she's a little too old for you, Rick.
Oh, God. But before the match happens, Paige comes out to thank the fans and to hype the title match, and it goes over very well. At this point, we notice that Lil Nate, Charles Robinson, is the referee, and the fix is in.
As if the finish wasn't going to be spoiled enough.
So, the match starts, and what? Wait a second. Are these women wrestling? With, like, holds and shit?
Lots of wrestles. And I never thought Charlotte was anything special until this match.
Such wrestles.
Such...
Very
very
grapple.
the wrestles.
In a match that would make Doge smile.
So,
Such
we get a
grapples.
Figure 4 necklock, at which point Natty clearly taps on Charlotte's knee, but nope, that's not her tapping out, that's the signal to move to the next hold.
Shh.
Don't break kayfabe, damn it.
Charlotte goes for a moonsault, and of course, nobody in the pool. Around now, we get a "This is awesome" chant.
And it is.
Natty goes for the sharpshooter, but Charlotte reverses into the figure 4. Then they keep rolling. What? Keep rolling.
Come on.
Charlotte grabs a leg and decides, I'll do the sharpshooter instead. Reversal. Mini blockbuster. Charlotte wins.
Well, she took the sharpshooter from... Clearly, she learned how to do it from The Rock.
I learned it from The Rock. When Charlotte
Slop
wins,
shooter.
Ric Flair starts stripping, bleeding, and crying.
He's crying tears of blood.
He takes his jacket off, swings
And
it around.
this is the greatest moment of his career. And it's not his career. And then he takes a moment to talk about how terrible TNA is.
And then she's in TNA.
Just
What's TNA?
down the street.
I couldn't wait for WWE to go out of business. No, we're under the WWE umbrella. Oh, shit.
I couldn't wait to sign with NXT. Main event time.
Finish of this match was awesome because of the camaraderie that they showed and the real emotion in the fake sport.
Oh yes,
I
everyone
read one review.
Everyone hugged. They're all one big faggot family.
A lot of the people were afraid about Ric Flair and Bret.
Girls hugging makes them faggots. Good observation, Dan.
But you know what? A lot of people were afraid of Bret Hart and Ric Flair getting into a skirmish and Bret taking a bump. You know the only thing I was afraid of? Getting a boner.
Oh, thank God. I actually thought you were going to make a stroke reference for a minute. I'm like, no, Pat, no.
No, we had quite a stroke of luck. Bret didn't fall.
And of course, Ric Flair and Bret Hart stayed the fuck out of the ring. And they actually stayed away from each other. They were there to support their lady family member.
Right, they didn't need any help from a Hall of Famer to get that match over.
They didn't need Ric Flair to bleed all over the place. I mean, come on.
Charlotte, Sasha Banks feud coming up, maybe?
Probably, because it looks like
she's
getting
turned
a face turn.
Babyface, yeah.
She's turning that ass. Alright. It's time. It is time for the main event of the evening. The NXT Championship is on the line as Adrian Neville defends against Tyson Kidd. And this is the third match of the night to go 20 minutes.
The third match of the night to be... Well, no. Wait, there's more matches than that. But this is like... I'm going to ask you at the end of this, when you're done talking about it, what was your match of the night? Because, oh my God, man.
I thought you were going to ask how many times I came. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. How many times did you leave?
This match, again, more great pacing for a longer match, and we had wear-down holds that weren't rest holds. It was great. Everybody gets into the Tree of Woe at some point during this match.
I like how moves can mean something.
Even the referee?
Yeah, but even the referee was in the Tree of Woe. Referee, former TNA senior official Rudy Charles. Tyson Kidd tries to super bomb Neville, but Neville lands on his feet?
Yeah. What? I was fighting because I'd worked all day and this was the last match on the show and I fought to stay awake to watch this match. It was so good. I was like, no, do not fall asleep. Eyes do not close. Do not blink.
And Neville retains with the red arrow. Neville extends his hand for the shaking of said hand. And Kidd shoulder bumps him as he walks out.
He's like, you little bitch.
And I'm like, hey, Tyson, your wife didn't win either.
Tyson is very excited about the fact that we both have title matches tonight.
Why did that
all I
sound
gotta
like
say
man?
is, gosh.
Natalia kind of does sound like Hey Man, like her cadence, her K-man-dance.
So does that mean that she sounds masculine or he sounds feminine?
A little bit of both.
Yes, 9 out of 10 would bang. That is my takeover.
9 ain't enough, man. 9.5.
The show actually would have been a 10 if they didn't throw in that Rusev segment. As necessary as it was, I was still like, Rusev, Raleigh,
I really.
But then I was like, hey, Lana.
I really had a pee, so that's why it gets a 9.5 from me.
Oh, yeah. Lana with them fucking booty popping.
So, Pat, what happened on SmackDown this week? Anything important? No?
Well,
okay.
Well, real quick, before that,
I
want to ask...
the post-show was important. It really was.
It was, but I want to ask y'all, before we get to the post-show, what was your favorite match?
My favorite match was Zayn versus Breeze.
I'm going to second Zayn versus Breeze.
God, I'm really torn between that and the championship match. I really, it's too tough to choose. And the women's match, though.
As good as they both were, the championship match loses two things for me, and this is why Zayn Breeze was better. Number one,
showmanship.
I just don't think Tyson Kidd was going to win the title, so I didn't see that as being believable. Because he, after all this hype about how he's a main roster guy, all right, well then you're obviously not winning the low title. But the other thing is that Zayn and Breeze were fighting for a chance, and
to chase a dream.
they completely got over the fact that these two guys want this more than anything. And I think that is what sold it for me.
And it also helped that they haven't run promos for Sami Zayn to debut on Raw.
Yeah, that does help.
But we're talking about how the commentary was actually good because it didn't involve...
Yeah, it was. Because William Regal was there and Alex Riley wasn't.
But yeah, so post-show...
Post-show was really, like, oh my goodness.
Dude, when Tyson Kidd sat down with Heyman and he's like, I'll take care of the interview. He's like, how angry are you? Tell us! And he just gets so pissed that he leaves.
Yep. He's dejected. Natalia's
so many of
at
them
least
feels.
happy that Charlotte is her friend now. But,
Adam Rose interrupted Sammy's speech, his little promo.
Yeah, and he's like, why are you such a Debbie Downer?
You're being a grumpy pants.
Yes.
I'm
so they
being a
all
grumpy
dance away.
pants.
But at the very end, they bring out Neville, and he's like, oh, I'm going to do so well and stuff. And then at the very, very end, Tyler Breeze comes out, lays on the table, facing him.
Wait.
Not facing the crowd, facing Adrian Neville.
Wait, he also has his assistant wipe down the table before he jumps on it.
Yes. And he lays on the table, again, not facing the crowd, but facing Adrian Neville, and he's like, Prince Priest's gonna kick your ass. What else happened on the... Oh, Triple H's It's All About You, the NXT Universe. I think we should have one of these every quarter. What do you think?
Woo!
End of August, early September. What do you think?
Yeah, the
I'm like,
fan...
no, end of August, early September is when I don't have the network anymore because I won't have any more money after the 6 months is over. No!
What do you say? The fans really like that Canadian ginger foreigner guy. Arabian guy. And then he trips over the mic when he tries to stand up.
Yes! That was the best. He's all tangled up in his regular wired microphone. It's not even like the headset or anything. It's just a regular microphone.
And then he pulls out the sledgehammer and attacks it.
You don't need pedigrees a microphone. And Heyman was great again, putting everybody over and giving people ideas. Her back's turned. Hit her.
Yeah, I'm giving you information that led to my client Brock Lesnar defeating The Undertaker at WrestleMania 30.
Her back is turned. Hit her.
He took advice from me like his back is turned. Hit him.
Anyway, SmackDown.
Now, I don't want to talk about SmackDown because of how good TakeOver was.
Do we really?
Tell us the two things that happened on
it's
SmackDown.
two important things happened on SmackDown. The rest we'll
Okay.
discuss during the payback coverage.
So we had Shamoose versus Bad News Barrett in a champion versus champion match because apparently
So-
there was stuff going on all night saying the U.S. champion is better than the IC
Good
champion.
catchphrase versus lame catchphrase. Gee, I wonder which one's actually going to get put over here.
The fuck is fella supposed to be a catchphrase?
Fella wins.
So now the U.S. title is more important.
Or story time with Sheamus a catchphrase? Remember when all his promos were story time with Sheamus? Let me tell you about me Uncle Blarney.
Remember when he wore the Rey Mysterio mask?
No.
Oh, lucky you. It like barely fit on his face. Then we had Jack Swaggy versus Adam Rose with Zeb Coulter on commentary. And when the Exotic Express comes out, he calls them a bunch of gluten-free losers who still live with their parents. So Rose does a lot of the same spots now where he's like gay, but not gay because he's confident in his own sexuality. And he's like, "Here's
Confident
my."
in his gay sexuality.
He's like, "Here, suck my sucker."
when he does the spot where he jumps into Swagger's arms and JBL goes, "Who does he think he is, Harpo Marx?"
That's some Bugs Bunny shit right there.
And let's talk about how dumb the main event was. So, this weekend at Payback, you have Bray Wyatt versus John Cena in a last man standing match. So tonight on SmackDown, it only makes sense to have Bray Wyatt versus Jimmy Uso in a last man standing match.
Yes. So, who do you guys think is going to win this? The guy who's going to fight Sunday at a pay-per-view in a high-profile match in this huge gimmick match, which is a feud ender, or one half of the tag team champions who isn't even booked on Sunday?
The tag team champion guy.
One of the Samoans. One of the Samoans.
And you are wrong.
Good day, sir.
And that said, this was a cool match, but it was so stupid to make it a last man standing match right before the pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was cool, like, the spots that Bray did, where you thought he was down for the count, and then the way he would get back up again,
Oh,
like a
great.
freaking
Now I
zombie.
can't do those on Sunday.
Let's do 4 Hell in a Cells in a row on a pay-per-view. Why not?
Okay.
Here, I'm going to take these spots. You take those.
Oh, sorry, no more spots for you. I guess you can't leave the cage at all.
Guess it's a
Can't
singles
even leave
match. Don't even use the cage.
the ring. Can't even leave the ring. Don't even leave the ring. Don't. Don't do it.
Don't.
I think you guys should pull off the turnbuckle pad.
Yeah, that's never been done before. All right.
We have a cell, but we can pull off the pad.
Let's talk about Payback this Sunday, because there actually are some cool
Extreme
things that
rules.
are happening, but not too many. Dan has ran the card on 2K14, so he's going to give you the 2K14 results as we do this.
I had to download an Alicia Fox CAW, and that made me more upset than downloading Swaggle or Torito.
Speaking of those two, let's start with that. We have a hair versus mask match on the Payback kickoff show.
Didn't
And
know
it's-
this was happening.
And it's Hornswoggle versus El Torito.
In a non-Hulu match.
I feel like it's almost too obvious that Hornswoggle is going to lose this, because the whole Torito unmasking thing would just, the way they're hyping it would just be ridiculous.
Could you imagine a Mexican guy with no mask on and a bull suit coming out with Los Matadores? Yeah, me neither.
I mean, a
Yeah.
midget Mexican. A midgekin.
And the whole Torito thing is still fresh.
Super porky.
Sad to say it, but it is.
He's
So
super. He's porky.
And he's got a ham. So I think Torito's going to win this one. Who won the last match?
Torito.
Was it Torito?
Yeah.
All right.
El Torito.
I still say Torito's going to win it. I don't really care, but I'm actually a little more interested in this match than the last one, just because I kind of want to see Hornswoggle get his head shaved.
Yeah, El Torito's winning. I mean, I can't really say much in this feud other than I think Jinder Mahal lost to Torito. I think now all 3 members of 3MB, well, all 4 members of 3MB, have lost to El Torito. Not Los Matadores, to El Torito.
Yeah, Torito has beaten 3MB.
Los Matadores aren't even over. They're not even part of the equation. It's just El Torito.
El Torito. Well, the game says that we got shaved midgets, Michael!
Oh, do you think they're going to bring that back? The freaking whole little people, like, commentary team and everything? Or do you think they all got fired for breaking kayfabe?
For showing John Cena talk his spots over with the Wyatts.
We won't be doing that again.
And
Did
this
you
is
guys
when the
pay
little
your
kid comes
tickets?
out with the demonic voice.
I see you sitting in the seats. Did you pay your ticket?
We've got Paige defending her Divas title against Alicia Fox, who's doing some new gimmick where she's going crazy, which is pretty lame, actually.
You know, I don't mind it, but it's just like AJ Light.
Yeah, it's... I get it. They
Oh,
wanna
actually,
make her-
AJ Dark. Sorry.
Oh.
This is dark
AJ.
roast.
It's AJ Latte. That's great. AJ Dark.
I like how he stopped trying to hook up the Genesis just to come back here and appreciate your joke.
Yeah, I'm trying to play as Jax right now. I'm making him my slave in the game. He's doing what I press the buttons. Slaveality. Shao McMahon.
He really is Shao McMahon. He picks all these people from different places, makes them fight each other.
Well, now, I mean, in today's day and age, it would be Hunter. I mean, didn't you see WrestleMania 30? That was clearly Shao Kahn.
Is Hunter Quan Chi to your Shang Tsung, your Deadly Alliance?
I'm Lord Shinnok. How do you know about Mortal Kombat 4, bitch? You ain't even played Mortal Kombat 2 till now. I played Mythologies. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm actually sorry.
Yeah, me too. Damn.
Do you have a genetically altered version of your daughter? Or is your quote-unquote daughter the genetically altered version of your daughter?
Yes. I have to leave now. My planet needs me.
Oh no, God. I hope he doesn't die on the way back to his home planet.
I'm sorry, I meant my plantation needs me.
Oh. Damn. That seems more legit.
Alright. Paige retains.
Paige retains, and the game says so as well.
Yeah. Alright, moving on. Big E versus Rusev. I don't really care, but it's going to be a Rusev win.
Guess what? Hulu didn't tell me about this either. I'm fine with that. I'm just saying.
I wasn't told about this match either, but I wrote in if a Rusev squash happens, a Rusev squash happens.
Pretty much. So let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship match, which is RVD versus BNB.
Oh, you mean obvi finish?
I'm glad RVD is back. I'd like to see him do more than just wrestle a couple of singles matches.
Stuff for him to do when he comes back for these few months here and there.
Yeah, that's true, but
even the last one was like, oh shit, we've got
Alberto Del Rio.
You could be fighting for the world title. You're never going to win it, and everyone's going to get sick of it because you fight him 3 straight pay-per-views. But you know.
I don't think it would have been so bad if they actually did a title trade-off, if they let RVD hold it for like a month and then Del Rio won it back.
Oh, so they did like some Edge title reign with him?
Because it would have spiced up the feud and made Del Rio less lame. But
spiced it up. One of them was Mexican to begin with.
Bad News Barrett is going to retain his title, but it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, Rob Van Dam tries to do some flippy-do, and then he gets caught with the elbow, and then
Bull hammer!
Is that what happened in your game?
No, he just straight up hit him with the elbow to retain.
Nice. Sheamus Cesaro for the U.S. title match. I like this because the U.S. title feels a lot more important after they put it on Sheamus, because lo and behold, oh, well, now one of our top guys has it, so we better push him.
And LOL, Cesaro is right back where he started in matches for the U.S. Championship.
Yes, but I feel like he might actually win this time. Sheamus will have a short reign, and Cesaro will be a dominant U.S. champion and bring it back to some prosperity.
Well, I mean, he already was the last time. And then they're just like, no, it doesn't matter now.
Cesaro for the win.
Cesaro,
King of
we love
Swing,
you.
Cesaro.
Awesome. When you did the simulation, did you have Heyman in his corner?
Fuck yes.
Did he play any part in the match?
Not majorly. There wasn't the blatant, I'm going to pin you for the win. Oh shit, your guy hopped on the apron.
The last man standing match between John Cena and Bray Wyatt. What are they? They're 1 for 1 now, right?
Yep, can this be end? Can this be end?
Well, to the best of my knowledge, Cena has never lost a last man standing match, right? Or
well, he never backs down, he never quits.
Or
last
did
man
he lose?
standing and I quits. Never, ever, ever.
What was the match he fought Big Show in when he went through the light?
Bat symbol match.
I think that's
was
like
that Last Man Standing?
if it was, that's like the only time he ever lost one.
His last man standing match was when he put Ryback through the roof of the ambulance.
Oh, right. So I feel like if Cena's going to win this, it's going to be some crazy, ridiculous spot. But I really, really think they're going to let Wyatt take this one and keep pushing him.
That's cute. John Cena's gonna win. It's really cute that you think that. It really is.
Yeah, that's really depressing that you said that, because we all know what happens when you make predictions.
I bet Hardcore Holly's going to be in the title match at the Royal Rumble this year.
Fuck you, Pat. 10 years ago, and I'm still pissed about that.
Fuck you.
So, who won? Daniel?
Not you.
So it.
Oh, we'll have to delete that segment or just not show it. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did someone choke out Daniel?
Do what
Uh-oh.
now?
Oh, there we go.
We thought we lost you for a minute.
Did you have a pillow up against the mic?
LOL, Cena wins.
Oh.
Of course. Shield Evolution No Holds Barred elimination match. Comes down to Triple H and Roman Reigns, with Roman Reigns winning. That's my prediction.
I think Batista gets eliminated pretty quick.
Because he isn't going to be able to work the whole half hour the match needs to go.
And he's not going to work the next month anyway. Maybe they'll actually do like a cool, vicious spot where they take Batista out of commission to actually give the feud some...
And he goes, "Oh, you're not going to see me
Ability.
until right before my movie comes out." Oh, goodness.
You know, it should be somebody like Randy Orton. Should be the last guy in for that team, but it'll be Triple H.
Of course it will. So, Hunter, who do you think should be the last man standing here? Me.
So they'll eliminate Batista, and then surprise replacement partner of Sledgy. So it's Sledgy, Orton, and Triple H.
Which would
Sledgy
make a
Orton?
better
That's
tandem
a
than the
nice
one we
name.
have now.
Yeah. And then Batista's gonna walk alone back to Hollywood
Yeah. So that's my
to a
prediction.
movie I will see.
Dan, what happens?
A clean sweep.
From which team?
Well, let's see here. First what happens is Triple H pins Dean Ambrose.
Oh, no.
And then
No end.
Seth Rollins gets pinned by Triple H. And then Triple H pins Roman Reigns.
Yes.
One for each H.
Pat, please, you have to.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, that's Triple H. There's Triple H's dream match right there.
It was pretty bad. I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god.
Clean sweep. Oy. So, the last thing that's going to happen on the pay-per-view is going to be a segment in which Daniel Bryan must do the right thing and surrender the title, or Stephanie is going to fire Brie Bella.
A.
I predict this will involve Kane, it will involve some sort of beatdown, and maybe even some kind of a big surprise. Not the Chicago surprise that everybody's predicting. Although, that would throw me for a loop if that happened, but I think there's going to be more to this segment than meets the eye. Supposedly, they're going to actually vacate the title until Money in the Bank and have 2 Money in the Bank matches, one for the briefcase and then one for the title itself. Not
And
sure
then
how
the
that's going to
briefcase
go.
guy's going to cash in on the winner, and then
Oh,
we're
God.
go from
That could
vacant to 2 champions deep.
That could happen. So we'll see. We shall
Finally,
see.
split titles again.
Yay! Thanks for bringing him up, because that segues us into our next segment, which,
Oh,
of course,
no problem.
is Troll Truth. Dun, 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 dun.
What did he say this week?
Well, this week's Troll Truth actually does come from our old pal, Heyman.
No shit.
Of course it does, because what else would it be? But this one's actually new. It just happened on his newsfeed. He shared a picture of a New York pizza meme, which said, "No thanks, pizza is gross, said no one ever." And of course, he agrees with this statement. And here's his quote agreeing with this statement.
I would agree with the statement too, but I probably will disagree with what comes next.
No, I
Wait
agree.
for it.
I agree too, but I don't agree with this. I actually heard someone say this a few weeks ago, and then I died because my brain imploded. But on the plus side,
Why is he posting?
the afterlife has Facebook and pizza.
Oh god. I thought I didn't believe in that shit.
Yeah, that's one thing that's wrong with that. Of course, the part where he's like, "I died." Is it bad that one of the first things I thought of was "if only"?
Is it bad that he prefers plain cheese pizza, which is as much of an abomination as no pizza at all?
Every time I watch Home Alone, I think of him.
Every time I watch Home Alone, I'm like, good, let your friggin' jerk brother eat the shitty pizza.
I would do that to him too. Get a plain cheese pizza and then eat all the cheese.
Oh god. That is nasty.
Indeed. But let's stop talking about him and talk about some other trolls.
Alright, this week on the Facebooks, a Photoshop genius put superstars of the past in with the Rosebuds.
Oh yeah,
So
I remember that. I thought it was actually going to be legit Easter eggs that they've hidden on us, and that's like, LOL, no, there's Brutus Beefcake. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Yes, these pictures included, and by included I mean these are the people that they've put in all of the pictures. Ken Shamrock, Abdullah the Butcher, The Mountie, Barber Beefcake, P.S. Hayes, Honky Tonky Man, Dan Severn, Max Moon, Karma, and finally, Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, I actually got kind of mad when I got to the Bruno one.
Oh. Anyway,
Yes, please tell me what
time
these people
for
are.
the comments on these Photoshop jobs.
Oh, please. This should be good.
Don't trash Attitude Era wrestlers by placing them in this chode's little group. One of the dumbest gimmicks.
Ode. Whoa.
I'm sorry, Guy Mix.
Guy Mix.
Guy Mix.
How many of those were actually Attitude wrestlers, though? You said Bruno Sammartino, Karma, the Mountie. Those aren't Attitude people.
Two? Shamrock and Severn?
Yeah, that's it.
And how dare they make fun of Dan Severn?
Well, yeah. Dan the Beast Severn. Ugh.
WWE needs more Attitude Era Gimmick, Lick, Shield, Wyatt, ETC. All with ETC with a period between each.
I don't
letter.
want anybody to lick my shield.
You're gonna lick your Shield Wyatts? Screw you guys who say this gimmick sucks. Take off your rose-colored glasses of nostalgia and quit being a lemon. This dude is epicness.
Okay.
Adam Rose is a homo.
That's great. That was the whole comment?
Yeah.
Well, he is a Homo sapien.
WWE died after the Attitude Era was over. It's all about ROH.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. As far as I could tell, WWE's still around.
This is WWE when they had.
What I love about this is that this segment is proof positive that nobody monitors these comments.
And an answer to that, in a way, WWE died the moment when Streak died.
I wrote that.
Died the moment when Streak died.
Actually, no, I didn't write that. If I did, it would have proper grammar.
Yes. He's very bad with content, but good.
Content bad, grammar good.
Anyway, that's it. WWE apparently has been dead for 13 years or a couple months, depending upon who you ask.
Depending upon which moron posted. Any more?
Yeah, that's it.
All
That
right.
is it.
All right, so this week's at CK game, in honor of X-Men Days of Future Past, we asked you guys to come up with your wrestling mutant powers. But there was a twist to this game. You could only pick one wrestler. You couldn't duplicate somebody else's wrestler. And to everybody's credit, nobody is going to get disqualification negative points. I was about to say nobody's going to get negative points, but that is yet to be seen. But everybody stuck to the rules. They all picked one wrestler and gave them a power. So you guys ready to hear some mutant powers?
Yep.
Pat, you got the band hammer out, just in case?
Just in case.
Okay. So our first submission is JTG. His power is to hold a job for an unbelievably long time.
Yeah, I would say that's a power. And only JTG possesses it.
All right, so points to Joseph Imagery.
Way to not
Just
wait,
the god.
way to not make his mutant power racist. Go you.
Yeah, but he actually took the funny approach with that one. All right. The next one is John Cena. His superpower to put anyone over while at the same time never losing a match against them.
Is that really a superpower? I don't know if I'd count that one.
Here's John Cena. His superpower is he does his job.
My superpower is getting my ticket, making sure I paid for it.
See, that would have won you points. So,
Sitting
no
in the arena
points.
with my knee pads. That would have been a mutant power.
Wearing his knee pads.
Wearing knee pads everywhere.
Aw. All right, Nathan Patton, good try, but no points. Okay. The next one is Mr. T. He has the power to love his mother every day of the year, even on Father's Day.
Okay, there's points for that one. Now, does he make every day Mother's Day? Like, is that his mutant power to change the calendar? Or is it just he has the power to love his mother on every day? Because
I
I
like
think,
both of those.
okay.
Ew, he loves his mother every day of the month? Ew.
Oh.
I mean, she's dead, but that makes it might even make it even grosser.
Right. So points to Shin. And way to go, Shin. You were the third entry this week. Usually you're the last one because I have to keep it open for several more hours.
Yeah, like Days of Future Last.
Okay. Our next wrestler is Bray Wyatt. He literally has the whole world in his hands, but chooses to wrestle grown men in their underwear.
So he's Galactus in underwear? I'll give that points.
I like that one, too. Danny Risner.
Even though Galactus is not a mutant.
No.
Just correcting, putting it out there for you nerds. We're like, Galactus is not a mutant! Didn't you ever see Fantastic Four? No, nobody saw those movies. Get a life.
Okay. Your next entry is Brock Lesnar. He has the superhuman ability to be the 1 in 21 and 1.
I'm going to give that points because it's true.
For your true superpower, you get points.
True.
True
Matt
power.
Hardman. Matt Hardman with points.
True.
I'm surprised nobody actually went with anything about my client Brock Lesnar conquering the
Yeah,
streak.
I was going to say.
have the power to have my client.
That would have been hilarious. I would have given that points. But nobody went that direction. Still, the 1 and 21 and 1 got points, so good job, Matt Hardman. All right, your next wrestler is Summer Rae. The superpower.
Ooh, wow!
is
What's her superpower?
The ability to
Suck your
transform.
dick.
The ability to transform her
Points.
body into a stick.
Oh, no points, because...
What?
Yeah.
Oh, because she's thin. Oh, I get it. Yeah,
no. No points.
Ha ha!
If they could say her ability to transform into Layla, I would have considered.
So she's Katana?
She's like Mystique.
Katana was the only person I could ever get to transform in Mortal Kombat. What was that character's name that could transform to everybody?
Shang
Shang
Tsung.
Tsung.
Shang Tsung, yeah. I remember I could only do Katana because all it was hitting L and R. I was like, oh, that's easy. I might as well just play as Katana. So every time I always thought Katana was the transforming person
I always
for like
wondered
a year.
why he wouldn't play with his tits when he turned into one of the women. It was like, why would you not turn into Katana? Huge boobs. Melina had huger boobs, but she had
She had sharp
jangly
face,
teeth.
she had
Yeah.
sharp mouth.
I don't know about you guys, but I think Summer Rae is pretty attractive, and I think she's got a fine figure, so no points, Mickey O'Reilly.
She has the power to give me a boner.
See, if somebody had taken that for a diva, that would have been automatic points.
Right.
Sadly, Summer Rae was our only diva entry.
Oh, wait, you know what? Wait. I'm gonna give this 1 point because I just got what he was going for. Not that she was thin, it's Summer on a stick. I just got that, so points, retroactive points.
Oh, shit. I missed that, too. Boom.
Because she hasn't been on a stick in a while.
Mickey
Wow,
O'Reilly
yeah.
does get points.
Yeah, he does get points. I'm so sorry.
Summer
Watch
on a
him
stick. I
rage when he
missed-
listens to this, and then,
And then he's
5
going to be like,
minutes
oh,
later, oh, never mind.
We have to watch
Dude,
Mickey
he went
O'Reilly's
from no
live comments.
points. He went from no points to, I think, leading right now.
I hope in the comments section he puts a huge description of what he was going for, and then it's just like, oh, never mind, you guys get it, LOL. Thanks
You
for the
got
points.
we are fucking idiots points. We blew our own gimmick points.
There you go. That's still only 100 points, but congratulations.
Yeah, but he might win now. How the hell did that happen?
All right.
One of the biggest turnarounds, besides Matt Awesome getting to to 0
This
points.
is truly the greatest night in the history of our sport.
Matt Awesome's in positives now, so watch out. He's here to play. He came to play.
And if he
Okay.
didn't, if he really meant Summer Rae was thin, well, fuck you, buddy. But if you meant Summer on a stick, awesome.
Oh no, wait. So if he puts in the description that is what he meant, and then
No, he's never
loses
going to do
points-
that. He's just going to say, oh, yeah, you guys are geniuses. That's right. I'm a genius.
All right.
Oh, I'm a motherfucking
right.
genius.
You guys didn't even get your own joke that's so meta. What are you guys on Community or something?
All right. Next one.
Yeah,
Kevin
the
Nash.
community, you guys should be canceled.
And Kevin Nash's power is the power to tear anyone's quads with his mind.
Yeah, he only chooses to do his own.
He turns himself into Professor X.
Oh, God.
Professor
I don't want your future.
Professor Big Sexy. You get points just for that thought
Oh, God,
alone.
imagine him bald. Imagine him bald.
Big Sex Man. What?
The big sex man. Ellis Holmes, you get points.
X-Men.
Okay. The next entry is Zach Gowen with the ability to regrow limbs.
That's not true.
He doesn't have that ability. No points.
No points, Scott Glazer.
If he had the ability to regrow limbs, he's doing it wrong. He's blowing into it.
He keeps on regrowing an arm every night. He has to cut it off. And he won't give it to Greg Iron either.
Oh.
He's a big dick.
Oh, the irony.
He's a dick. Oh, God.
God. Okay. Next one. Road Warrior Hawk. the power to fly off the Titantron.
Oh!
That wasn't flying, that was falling with style.
Wow, Summer on a Stick just got some stiff competition.
Oh, because the LOD worked stiff. I get it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
Oh, I thought because Summer makes me stiff.
No, it's because he's dead. But anyway.
Oh my god. All right, Glenn Kukin points for that.
I didn't want to
sick
go
reference.
there yet.
Well, hang on. We're only about halfway through. It's still more. Okay, the next one is RVD.
Wait, hold on. There's a little bit of a reach, but I'm going for it.
Okay.
What do you call it when the stiffness starts to set in for a black man?
What do you call it when the stiffness starts to set in for a black man?
Oh no, I know what this is going to be. Don't say it.
Nigga mortis. Yeah. And you know what? Nigga mortis is going to be our new masked character, just like the Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah.
You mean just like Canyon? Just
He's
like
dead
Canyon.
too.
Nigga mortis.
Canyon is rigor mortis now.
Oh, but he's not
Now?
nigga mortis.
Oh god, I can't even. Wow.
Is he gonna have an all-black outfit? Yep. Yes, he is.
Holy crap.
Just smoke.
Okay.
Smoke.
Smoke. All right. Rob Van Dam. The power to make me question if things from the 90s were as good as I originally thought.
Wait, can you repeat that? I'm sorry. I'm still
Rob-
over Vince McMahon just
Yeah.
walking out after that.
Rob Van Dam. The power to make me question if things from the 90s were as good as I originally thought.
Oof. Ow, points.
Dan Dahl, points. Okay. The next one is Sin Cara. The ability to botch any move, even his own entrance.
Yeah, that's gotta get points. That's a real thing.
All right, Stephen
we
Arthur,
have-
points.
Blink, the ability to be adorable and be living Portal video game.
And give me a boner.
She
All
was
at the
awesome.
same time.
She was the best.
I think we've mentioned the word boner on this show more times than ever before.
I know, so Shin's really paying attention.
We should just call the show Boner this week.
And post
Can
a
we-
picture of the guy
A
that
boat?
killed himself.
I thought you were going to post a picture of Bo Dallas and call it
Andrew
Boner.
Cage.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh
Wow.
no!
Getting a boner.
That's the one
The
thing
only
that
thing
Shin doesn't
That's
have.
something I'm worried about. Is getting a boner.
Oh, God. All right, the next entry is D'Lo Brown, the power to cause paralysis.
Oh, my favorite luchador, paralysis. That's Mike Simsak's gimmick, right?
Yup.
Ow, wow, points.
That is.
All right, Siobhan Ferguson.
Professor Draws.
You are what the Spaniards call El Terrible.
Okay, the next one is Bo Dallas, the power to make you believe in the stupidest things.
That's not that good. No points.
All right, sorry, CJ.
I regret nothing.
The next one is The Miz, the power to be loved by emotionally unavailable fathers.
Does he have that power? I'm gonna give that points just because it made me laugh so much.
All right, Adrian Cotton, points. Next one is Daniel Bryan, the power to make the women say yes.
You didn't go with a Dazzler gimmick on an X-Men week? Stop, no points.
No points, Taylor Chadwick.
Don't you remember the Dazzler, Daniel Bryan?
On the JBL and Cole show.
Okay, the next one is CM Punk, the power of disappointing the internet wrestling community every Monday night.
I don't like that one.
He's
Alright.
He's said he's retired now. He's done. So go away.
Yeah. It's over.
Over.
All right, so the good news, Matt Awesome, is that you didn't get negative points. The bad news is you're still not getting points. And then the last submission is Sheamus, with the ability to defeat the sun with his blinding white skin.
Oh no. He just absorbs the sun and shoots its energy back at it? It's like Electro. It's like a car battery. You gotta overload him. I'd say that gets points.
The sun yet?
I think that gets points because it's an actual mutant ability type thing.
Alright, so Jeff Trelowitz points. And there you go. That was a pretty good turnout on points this week. 6,
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 entries got points.
The three I would narrow it down to, in my opinion, are the Hawk, Shin's entry, and Summer on a Stick.
Mr. T, Summer on a Stick, and Hawk Flying. All right.
Dan, you can pick out of those three, unless you had one that you thought was better than those three.
No, I think the winner goes to the one that didn't get points originally, but then got points.
Because of the biggest turnaround in history.
This truly is the greatest night in the history of our sport.
There you go. Mickey O'Reilly, you win this week.
Don't change to the other podcast where I hear that, oh wait, no one used to be on the show, I can't be fun.
All right. We didn't really get a lot of questions this week, but that's okay because this is one of our running long shows because of the whole pay-per-view thing and everything, so...
And a pay-per-view quality show in the middle of...
Yes. But we got something to announce at the end of the show involving questions with a future special that I meant to announce like 4 shows ago, I think, and we just neglected to do it. But we'll get to that. First question from Matt Hardman. Do you think it would be a good or bad move to put the belts on the Wyatts yet?
Tag belts? Do it.
Yeah, why not?
Do it.
Yeah, I think it's time.
You've been feuding them with the Usos. You've been teasing the idea. Just do it.
Yeah.
Nike.
And then kicking everyone's
The Shield-
ass. Do it.
The Shield was around for what, 4 or 5 months before they did like their little belt monopoly? But the
They
Wyatts have almost been
debuted
around
at
for a year.
They debuted at Survivor Series, and they won all their belts at Money in the Bank? No, not Money in the
No,
Bank.
because
Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules.
Yeah, because Ambrose was in Money in the Bank.
Yeah, they won. Yeah, because they defended the tag titles in the pre-show, and then
It was either Extreme Rules or Payback.
No, it was Extreme
Yeah.
Rules, yeah.
Extreme
That's where he
Rules.
beat Kofi for the U.S. title.
so they went 6 months before they won the title on one of those
Right.
titles.
And the Wyatts have been on TV for almost a full calendar year now, right?
Yeah, I don't remember when they debuted, but it's about right.
Yeah. So it's time.
Yeah,
And
no,
that's
I'd
what-
say that's right. Because their first big match was Kane at SummerSlam. SummerSlam is almost here. It's here.
Right. And speaking of the Wyatts, Adrian Cotton wants to know, with the mentioning of the city that they're in and encouraging people to sing, do you think WWE is doing a good job pushing Bray Wyatt as a heel, or is he coming off as more of a face?
There are no heels and faces anymore.
The thing is, they want
get
him
the
to be
memo?
they want him to be a big baby face by the end of the year. So
14 years ago? No, more than that shit.
yeah. Which is funny because I remember reading like that
17.
recent article where Vince is like, no more faces and heels, and then that quickly dropped off the face of the earth, and now all the talk is about who's going to be face and heel.
I'd say it dropped off the heel of the earth.
I'd prefer it that way.
The dominant heel of the earth.
We answered
Galactus.
last week. We said that we wouldn't be surprised if Bray was world champion by the end of the year, so I think this is a good way to push him. He's over. The fans love him. With the exception of Antonio and Bobby G, almost everybody I know is into the Wyatt family, so as long as they don't jump the shark with them, they should be fine.
No, I would be totally into Bray Wyatt jumping over a shark.
Remember when Brock Lesnar F5'd the shark at SummerSlam?
SummerSlam commercial.
So would Bray Wyatt kiss the shark on the nose and then give it Sister Abigail?
Of course. Why even ask that question? That's a clown question, bro.
Mickey O'Reilly wants to know, what are the chances that WWE brings back an old title like the Hardcore or Light Heavyweight, or even create an all-new title?
Very low, because they just finally now managed to manage them all.
Getting low, getting low, getting low.
Yeah. Well, they talked about doing a cruiserweight show on the network, and they could still pull that off. Could replace superstars
They could pull that off with just showing old WCW matches.
Yeah.
With just old footage.
When did they do the Superstars tapings now? Is that all before Raw, or do they still split that? Because I know all of Main Event is at SmackDown because it's aired live now.
I think it's all before Raw.
Yeah. You can still pull that off. You can do the Cruiserweight show right in the NXT arena. Do it with the NXT tapings. It would probably be over like crazy. It would give a lot of people something to do. It would just be a high-flying showcase. But as far as bringing back another title, yeah, like Dan said, they just figured out how to manage the short number of titles that they have now, so I wouldn't count on that. Matt Hartman wants to know, do you think the tag team division has jumped up to the level that it should be at, or does it still have a ways to go?
Well, what teams are a threat to win the titles right now?
No one, because there's no contenders.
Right. Just the Wyatts.
But they're not even like, hey, we want those titles.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe that'll be like a payback bonus match, and then they actually will win.
Again, there's a difference between having some tag teams and having a tag division.
Yeah. Well, Hunter's a big advocate of tag team wrestling, but he's still not fully in charge, so until that happens, I don't think tag team wrestling is going to make a big comeback. So, no. Adrian Cotton wants to know, what do you suppose led to the WWE not really doing storylines or developing characters? Shit booking, shit writing, and Vince constantly changing his mind.
I think I can point this back. It was in April. Let's think. 13 years ago. Something happened. What was it? There's no competition! That's it, yeah. They don't have to, so they don't.
Yeah.
Why try?
That's why I really hope that Jarrett's new promotion takes off, because you're not getting any competition from that Spike TV show, who is losing more talent than they're gaining.
Spike TV by the end of the year.
I know. The death of TNA. And R.D. Reynolds and Blade Braxton already said they're going to write that book, so...
I think it's going to happen, because it's exactly what happened with ECW. They ended, the TV deal ended, and then they couldn't get back on TV, they couldn't get the right amount of money, then the pay-per-view companies said, fuck you too, and then, can't do anything, and we're done.
Yeah. TNA had plenty of chances to do really, really well, and there were several times when they were getting close, but at this stage, I really think that they don't have a prayer of ever competing with WWE. The only way for them to truly stay alive is to completely ignore WWE and not do anything that they're doing. But the thing is, just recently, they're...
Heyman, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. With Eric Young as the champion, getting beaten up by a three-man faction that poses just like another three-man faction. I mean...
What was it? It was when Heyman was on the Steve Austin show. And he said that when ECW officially went out of business, they owed as much money as TNA loses per month.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Like, I know everybody was panicking about WWE stock dropping and all this other crap, but they have plenty of ways to bring their revenue back up. TNA just doesn't. They said they were talking about putting ads on the network next year. I'm actually kind of surprised
that there weren't
yeah,
ads.
But there weren't.
With.
And there should be, because it's still just a network. I mean, I wouldn't put the ads on, like, every single pay-per-view that you watch,
put something at the beginning of the pay-per-view and then leave me the fuck
Put
alone.
it on the actual streaming network. That's all you really need to do. Or an ad before the pay-per-view and after the pay-per-view.
Right.
Or ads on the webpage.
Matt Hardman asks, do you think Miz gets a bad knock by the fans and the internet because of who he is?
No shit. He's the Miz. People don't like the Miz, so they don't like the Miz. What the fuck's that supposed to mean? You mean like that he was on the Real World and shit? Sure.
Do you think that?
But he also sucks, so that as well.
Do you think the reason people think he sucks is because he sucks?
Yeah.
Because he's an annoying douche. Do people think he's an annoying douche?
And the thing is, he got over really, really well when he got his world title run.
He got over with that Hate Me Now video and then immediately lost whatever overness he had by the finish of that match. Well, by the entire match.
Thanks, Alex Riley.
I was like, ooh, Hate Me Now, this video. Ooh, wow, this is really good. I might actually like The Miz now. Match starts. Oh, never mind.
Pat will remember this. That was my XWF theme!
Ah! Do you hate me now?
Because it won't stop now.
I've always hated you.
Alright, from Jason Shin, do you think if/when Adrian Neville is called up to the main roster, that he will still be the man that gravity forgot? Seems like high-flying moves have been discouraged on the main roster for a while.
I think that's why they're building these guys on NXT, and since NXT is a product they want your eyes on now, I don't think we're going to be seeing many gimmick changes anymore coming up.
I think that's why Leo Kruger did the Adam Rose transformation and then got called up to the main roster. They were probably like, listen, we like you, we want you on the main roster, but we don't like this gimmick. So he's like, all right, I'll hop on a party bus. Sweet, that's main roster material.
Yeah, we don't want you being Craven from Spider-Man anymore. We want you to be Russell Brand from not Spider-Man.
From Getting to the Greek and forgetting Sarah Marshall.
They want Russell Brand from Hop. That's why he has an Easter bunny.
Oh, God.
Oh, he was in that
Russell
movie?
Brand from Despicable Me. That's why he has a evil scientist.
Adrian Cotton wants to know if you could bring Vince McMahon Sr. back from the dead and interview him, what are some things you would like to ask him? I think the first thing I would ask him is, so what do you think of your son killing off the territories?
Wow, he'd roll back into that grave as soon as he's. Let's show you the roster split.
What do you think of the brand extension?
Let's show you the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure he'd be, like, really proud of shit like WrestleMania and, like, that 80s boom period. He'd be like, this is pretty cool. And then he would see the steroid scandals and see how kayfabe was broken forever, and that would just be it. Game over, man.
All because Vince McMahon didn't want to pay extra taxes.
Okay, we have a suggestion from Mickey O'Reilly. Can you bring back Masterpiece Theater, like, once every few months, like before a main pay-per-view? That was fantastic and hilarious. I'm glad you think so.
Back, it wouldn't be before a pay-per-view or after a pay-per-view, because those are
yeah, those are already long shows. Yeah.
Those
if we
shows
brought
are
it,
stacked, son.
it would probably be like a mid-month thing, but I think maybe like every 2 or 3 months we should do it, because
We should do these things quarterly, what do you think?
What do you guys think? This is your show.
It doesn't matter what match I like the most. What match did you like the most?
Oh, by the way, I like that when Paul Heyman was like, I'm paid to be here. It doesn't matter what I think.
He would say that.
He probably was paid to be there. Yeah.
No shit. That's all he... all he does is TVs and times when they tell him to come and they'll pay him. Good lord.
And our last question for this show is from Joey Image. What is Chris's father's maiden name?
I believe...
That is the
That
dumbest
would
question I've
be-
ever heard.
And the thing is, he was 100% sober when he asked it. Still my favorite. That's one of my all-time favorite Joey Image stories. That and the Chic Boyardee story, which I wasn't even there for. And I have been told that when he has been forced to retell this story among other groups, he always prefaces it by, or says something along the lines of, "Fucking Chris O'Mealy loves this fucking story." Because I do.
Oh, the Chic Boyardee story? Oh my god.
It is a pretty funny story.
I did the announcing that night too, and it was just like to see Joe come out in that gimmick, and you're just like
Most pissed off look on his face ever.
well, but then you see his Italian tattoos like right there, and you're just like, oh my god.
I thought he was forced to cover them up because
Not well, yeah, but they were still visible enough.
gotta make sure you cover them guinea tattoos.
Those guinea gimmicks.
Yeah,
Here,
make
grab-
sure
grab
you
a
cover
gimmick
the
before-
gimmicks.
With this gimmick.
Make sure you gimmick up the gimmick there, brother.
I never really thought that the guys ever used gimmick that much, and then I freaking started watching Legends House.
Oh, the Legends House has nothing on some things we've been through.
God damn.
By the way, if you guys
By the
aren't
way,
watching
we're like-
Legends House,
Yeah, watch it. We're like
Why?
the only people that I hear that freaking love that show. Everyone else talks about how bad it is. And I'm just like, nope,
I can't.
you're wrong.
I don't understand how people think that show is bad. Of course, then again, sometimes I don't understand how people think some shows are good. But
I'm
I
telling
don't
you, man.
understand how some people think.
I just want Piper and Hacksaw to get their own spin-off show.
Yeah, Hacksaw turned into a faggot.
or an FGT, as Dan calls
Piper,
it.
call me back. I miss you. And the phone rings, and he
He's like-
runs.
Is that Piper?
He
Good
gets
to hear
blown up.
from you, brother. Oh no, thanks.
No, wrong number.
Wife. What's the one thing I can't live without? Life.
That was hilarious. The botch spot. The
Yeah,
botch
unfortunately,
cheating spot.
Roddy Piper mentioned that like 2 months ago on his podcast.
I like, though, when he stands up and he just goes, all right, so I'm a heel, right? I cheat.
I had the word written down.
And and they keep pointing out freaking Jimmy Hart.
Yeah, we won.
They keep pointing him out. He's cheating. He's giving a reaction.
Yeah, they're accusing him of cheating, and yet every time Jimmy Hart starts squealing, he leans in. There's my answer.
That was hilarious.
Awesome.
Pot roast.
So I'm finally going to announce it, guys. That special that we wanted to do for like half the year.
Okay.
All right. So listen up, guys. We've been wanting to do a couple extra specials this year, and one thing that we talked about doing is an AMA special.
Is a show about gadgets.
Yes,
About
we're
fluids.
gonna take Stevie Richards' gimmick. The AMA special is literally just going to be Pat, Dan, and I answering your questions, but not in the typical show format where you guys are like, "So what'd you think of this thing that Sin Cara did, or this Adam Rose thing?" This time we're actually going to get down and dirty and personal. You guys can ask us anything you want. Literally anything. And we want to actually make this into a running series where we'll actually have panels on. Maybe we'll have Image, Shin, and a third party come on and do a triple AMA for them.
Which Shin would AMA be like always mounting ass?
Well, you know him.
Dun-na.
He's an open book. You can ask him anything. As far as the topics that we want to discuss, kind of want to steer away from wrestling for this one. So, get to know us a little bit better. If you want to ask us wrestling-related stuff, ask us personal stuff, like our
Personal
actual
stuff, yes.
experiences with wrestling. For Pat and I, stories from the business would be great. For Daniel, you can ask him.
Stories of being one of 2 wrestling fans 1 year, and then the next year being one of 2 wrestling fans that wasn't Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
We'll actually provide a full list of topics on the board of subjects that we really like that we may want to discuss, and a couple of things that are off limit. I'm pretty much good with answering anything. You can make it personal. I really don't care. Just keep in mind that I do have family that listens to this show, so don't be stupid with your personal questions. Pat, I don't think you have any restrictions, right?
I think people know me enough to know that I kind of will say whatever, whenever.
Yeah. And Dan, do you have any big restrictions?
You can ask me anything. Will I answer absolutely everything? I don't know.
Yeah.
No butt stuff.
The only stipulation is that we want to try to keep the questions even. So you can ask one question to the three of us, but if you ask one of us an individual question, try to come up with something individual to ask all three of us. So
We don't want one of us with 5 more questions than everybody.
Yeah. So don't pose a question to Pat and then ignore Dan and me, because then it just becomes uneven. But we'll actually post a thread in the board where you can post the questions and everything. That'll be coming. Maybe not next week, but the week after, depending on schedules and everything. But we're definitely going to make this happen. One stipulation I do have, because I want this to be a fun AMA special, absolutely no Hey Man. Just cut him out completely, save him for the main show. We've already talked about the origin story with him on the show before. No Hey Man crap. Leave that shit out.
Yeah, he's already jumped the shark, in my opinion, especially on the message board.
He's also jumped the shark.
But this will be the first one that we host. It'll be the three of us, and we'll definitely have some more 3-person panels with you guys. So if you guys want to do this.
Although, if you want to ask me a question for next week about trampoline wrestling and how he used to tell me about all the moves that he used to create, I'd be glad to answer that if someone asked me it next week.
Oh, God, he was a yard tard?
Yes.
I did not know that. Okay, we'll save that for the regular show.
Yard tard. He was a trampoline wrestler.
Trampolution.
Pat, write that down for your notes for next week's show. Because we're out of time this week. But
well, just if someone happens to ask.
If somebody happens to ask, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so ask that for next week's show. Don't ask it on the AMA special.
But there was something I brought up to you this week, speaking of which, it was just out of nowhere, and I was like, here's this random story I remembered. And it had there was no end to the story. It was just completely ridiculous. I can't remember what it was, though, now.
I don't remember either. I don't think I blocked some of that shit out. All right, but that was your show for 53 episodes. Woot woot.
So just chill till the next episode.
Hey, 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 hey.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.